One thing about boats you got to remember, you cannot love them. You got to teach them who's the boss. Oh, that's like a motorcycle. Welcome back to Just Enough Garage. This week, Subaru parts. Yes, I got some, but we're not working on them. We got a boat. Let's see if we can get it to float. Okay, so in the opener, I told you about the boat. Yeah, that's absolutely what we're going to do. We have an outboard motor in here that I've had for years. It hasn't ran right. It floods itself. I think it's a float problem in the carburetor, but it's behind. John, can you see in the shade here? It's behind the Subaru.
Well, let me get in the shade.
Yeah, you know, I can't. Well, the outboard is, yeah, way in the back there. There you go, on the stand. But what I got is this in the way. I think I can get it around the Jeep, but we got to get this moved. So let's go back to the table in the sunshine. Let me tell you a couple of things going on here. So you guys saw in the last video I had the motor in the back of the truck, which was a few days ago. I got it on Monday. Today's Friday. It's still in the back of the truck actually because I had to move this. But what you didn't see is this one. You might want to come in close on this one.
Oh, I mean,
it came in a bread sack. There's the bolts. This is the complete outrigging here. This is how it works. There's a little T and that's inside, and I didn't damage any of that. This is that plate that's broken. It's all destroyed. You see, I had to tap and die that and finally pry that out of there. This is all the stuff that broke. So when I said these are hard to come by, this apparently is what happens. And he says, I must have had it apart once because look at the silicone. I did that. That's what the fella told me. Anyways, that was $75 for that piece. And I paid $150 for the other motor, which has another one. So now I'm in possession of two of these. Hopefully I can, I bought a seal kit, $4, Rock Auto. I think $5 to ship it. It's here today. It's super awesome. And then something else I wanted to show you. Look what I got for my birthday the other day. Mrs. Just Enough Garage knew that I wanted one of those, and she went and got me this. Well, she'd ordered it. But last time I opened this was a chainsaw. Today, John, it is not a chainsaw. See what's in it. That's the kit I needed. It's the gasket, it's that little seal that goes right here, and then it's the O-ring that goes on there, and then there's another O-ring. I don't know where that other O-ring goes.
I don't either.
Anyways, and then it came with this stuff.
You know, you're lucky you didn't go too far into the box.
Oh, I know. You got to be careful. I even scratched out all my address so nobody could track me. Hey, cool, 55 Chevy.
Yeah.
Let's put it on a 64 Chevy. Now, would you drive around like that? I mean, would you be like, oh, that one fell. Would you be like, oh my gosh, instead of bumper stickers, I have bumper magnets. Would that be cool? No, they're not really doing that well, are they?
Oh yeah, you can't leave them out in the weather, apparently.
What? It's a magnet. It's rare earth. Anyways, the reason I had to show you the grinder is this right here. So come over to the boat. We're going to show you the boat. We're actually working on the boat. I got to do everything at once today, and I got to be somewhere at 4 o'clock. And I had to work half the day. These, John, look at that. Now, come around with your camera. So a smart guy could just use an impact gun or something and take those off. But why would he do that when he owns one of these?
No, you damaged your boat now.
So let me introduce you to the newest member. This is a Livingston. I think they're made in Seattle. It's a double-hulled boat. Come over here, John. What's your thing? They're heavy as the beans. Heavy as hell, heavy as earth, heavy as rock.
Well, one of those has to be believed.
Anyways, they're double-hulled. So they're very, very, very stable in the water. Now, John and I kayak and stuff, right? And Mariana, she's had some setbacks in her health in the last few years. And so Livingston, the sticker's gone. Anyways, I got this boat in hopes that she could come out and enjoy the lakes and stuff around here. It's beautiful in Washington in the summer, absolutely beautiful. And that gets her out, and the kayaks were not really her thing. But I have a motor, what is that, an 8-horse, 4-horse?
I don't know, I've never gone and
Suzuki.
looked at it.
Well, remember the last time we used it, it left us in the lake, and we had to row in because of the flooding of the carburetor.
And then we got the Yay fishing.
Yay fishing, yeah. We had another boat once years ago. Anyways, I've also had other boats, ski boats, everything else. But it doesn't matter. This is what we got now. It fits in the back of the truck. It's easy to carry. So let's put that on pause. Let me get all the O-rings and stuff. Rebuild that oil pump. I don't think anybody's interested in seeing that. The last video did horrible, John. I think we're like 60 views maybe. I mean, just nobody watches what I do. And for those of you who do and are, thank you very much. You're keeping the dream alive. It's a dream. Our goal is to eventually someday get big enough to, be self-sufficient at this.
And have cooler junk.
Otherwise, I'm struggling, and I just want to say that everybody's in the same position as me. I'm no different. I have a full-time job. I have bills to pay. I have a family to raise. I have grandkids. I have things going on in my life, same as you. And I take time to fit these in. So every time somebody watches it, I super appreciate it. Hey, John, did you know that Mary got a text from a fellow the other day about the RS? He was saying that he had one in 1989, sold it, and was curious if this one was the same. And he sent me part of his VIN number, and it's not. So I don't think I've sent him back a message because I'm busy. It's not, and I'm sorry that it's not. Because that would have been so cool to have had one of the owners come, because I've owned that car since 1991. I think I bought it around August or September. But anyways, I've had that car forever, and it was a local car apparently. And I was just thinking, well, maybe this is the guy who, I'd be interested to ask him questions and stuff, but I guess it's not the car. They all kind of look the same, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, let's get going on this. Enough rambling. Let's get rolling. Stinks.
Yeah.
This is more controllable than a chainsaw. I just wanted a piece of cardboard, John.
Yeah. And now you have a piece of cardboard.
There it is. So, should I do a comparison test? I mean, we're supposed to be working on an oil pump. But when I just said, is that more controllable than a chainsaw? Look how good that does. Should I now get the chainsaw and...
Well, you should sharpen the chainsaw first.
Well, should I try it? Because when we put the boat and the motor and all that together, I'm going to need a barrel cut down. So I was going to use the chainsaw to cut it down then. So I could have the motor set in a bucket of water and,
Well, we only have one barrel left.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to be the outboard motor thing. I don't want to take all the wood out of that one. It's been in there since we tore that deck off. Now, I'm saving that wood in case we go camping this year. Firewood, ready to go.
Yeah, it'll smell like moss and dirt.
It's all organic, dude. You want to be 100% organic.
Hi, Rolls.
Say hello to my little friend. I'm going to scare the dog.
Hi, Ravioli.
Let me see if I can set that up. Cold start. Does it turn the right way? Oh, yeah. Choke. I don't think there's much gas left in it. What? No way. It's a bad bit. All right, put this away. It's not as good. Makes more noise. And the cut is less quality. So now we know.
Yeah, but see, the grinder had a nice new blade on it, and you just used a well-worn chain.
See, if I had made a mistake, that's what your flesh would look like. Not that we're going there. Let's work on the oil pump. Okay.
Also, I like how you won't start the chainsaw in your hands, but you'll put the blade next to your leg while you're cutting
I was
the box.
over this way, so if the chain even threw, I'd be all right. Okay, so can you see what I'm doing? Is it even worth showing?
If I stand
Need
over
my
here.
Glasses. So you want to run a chainsaw, John, without your glasses? Magoo
Yeah.
in it. Haven't you ever seen Mr. Magoo?
I don't know. Safety third.
Safety third. Okay. This. So in my kit
That you didn't open.
that there's instructions, but I know this is a replacement. So you take that off. It's tough as hell too.
You stab your finger with the pick.
Let's open this. Hey,
You quickly cut to something else.
here's the right tool for the job.
Also, I like how you're talking about, oh, you need safety glasses and stuff for operating a chainsaw, and you got a pair on your head.
And there's no instructions.
There is cardboard.
There's a part number if you're working on a 40-year-old Subaru and you need an oil pump.
Good thing it's upside down. Oh, no, it is.
Dur, dur, dur.
Turns out I'm just dumb.
I know, it happens. Well, you're the son of a dumb guy, so...
Well, I was looking at it, I looked upside down.
Ah, excuse me. Oh, poop.
Man, you're just getting everything cut out today.
No, my screws came right out. Not a lick of trouble.
Your backing plate that it screwed into was also everywhere.
So, this is what I know about stuff.
Nothing?
If it works, don't mess with it. I got this one O-ring here. And then inside here there should be a spring that should move. Oh, it's held down by that plate. So we have one O-ring, two O-rings. Put it in service.
And hope it doesn't leak. By the way,
Somebody's blocked off that, so we won't have to worry about oil leaks. But we also won't know if we ever have any oil pressure. What are you looking at?
put the back of this to see if there's a crack.
There better not be.
That's why I'm looking.
Well, I don't know if there is a crack here or not.
Well, when I looked at it, it looked like a crack. Anyways, that one's fine.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take this apart all the way. I think I'm just going to put it in service, call myself lucky. If I have problems later, I can always...
Well, it's not focusing, but you can see that there's a crack on there if you have good eyesight.
Right. Well, we're going to do the old... I'm going to cut the O-ring.
And then find out you don't have that O-ring.
John, how could I not have that O-ring? This is hard as a brick. Check it out. I mean, come on. All this stuff it's weathered. I mean, what are you going to trust that? So now I have to take the inside apart, because if I don't, then they're the same. But they were...
I don't know. Use your impact gun. Break that backing plate.
I don't want to use my impact gun. I do want to clean this up. So there's an O-ring here behind that plate.
Which is the bigger one.
Do you think these O-rings are original OEM and they're just as old?
One way to find out. And that's figure out how to get the packaging open.
Without wrecking my gasket?
Oh no, you can wreck the gasket, it just won't help you.
Do I need use my grinder, my chainsaw, or my razor knife?
All three at the same time.
Right.
Oh, good thing you got the cardboard out.
Yeah, well, I didn't want... Okay, so that cute little one... Oh, they're soft. It would go there. We know that. Okay. This big one would go behind. This one would go right here. So then all we got to do is identify that one. It's the only reason we're taking it apart is for these two.
Well, is
and I know
the mystery one?
I think that one goes right here on the end of the impeller when it's in there, because that's the turner right here. What? See, I haven't seen it come out yet. That's full of oil.
We'll go, you got a drain pan thing right there. Just dump the oil on that.
John, you're brilliant.
I know.
How come you didn't go to college?
Why would I want to do more school? School didn't help me in the past. Why would it help me in the future?
You didn't focus on it while you were there.
Dropped a ball bearing in there.
Out of there. How do you think I'll ever get that out?
One day when you're putting this oil in the
What's that say?
oil container. Well, it's upside down for me, but I think it says it's ATSUGI.
A song.
Probably not that way.
Well, these are the same. This literally was outside for 10 years, and the other one was for 10 years.
The other one was out for only
so
a
do you think
year.
if I put a magnet in there, I could reach that? Or do you think it's already rolled down there?
It's over here because it's a ball bearing
See,
that you dropped in there.
I got these 2 screws right here as spares. I gotta change the O-rings, John. I just can't put it in.
You just can't live with an oil leak.
All right, let's get serious. I got one more of these. What could go wrong? You might as well come in here and watch me break this.
Now that you've said the words, everything will go wrong. You'll get your impact gun and then that'll explode.
First, let me crush it.
Oh, yeah. You gotta make a round object not round.
No, I do have, when you're talking about an impact, I do have one of those hidden ones.
Is it that one?
No.
Or is that a holder?
Phillips. You know, an impact driver?
Yeah, I kind of remember it. I don't know where it is, though.
What's in the toolbox?
Okay, yeah, but this toolbox, the one back there, the other one back there, that one, which toolbox?
Could be this one. Okay, that is clearly not the right bit.
Oh, good.
It's Phillips, though.
Well, if you hammer it hard enough, it'll be the right bit.
John, we're trying to save these pieces.
Oh.
Found some more taps and dies.
Oh, that's good.
I'll put them in my new spot I've been keeping them lately.
And this is how you're going to lose where they are.
And so, to further tell everybody I'm a hoarder, you see all these? Whenever I'm parting out an engine for Subaru junk, because that's where I end up driving a lot.
He doesn't trust them enough to put them on an engine, but he trusts them enough that it can't be wrong.
John, these are used ones. But if you connect them to the engine and it starts and runs, and you go, haha, I bet it's that sensor, and I could go buy a new one, which half the time aren't as good as what the old ones are. So then I'll just put an old one on it and say, well, next time it quits, that'll be it. It's the way people live, man. This is how people live their lives. See, you're too young to understand the put enough gas in it that if it quits, you didn't feel like you lost any money scenario.
Yeah, that's because I know how to siphon gas.
Well, yeah, I don't know that I have a bit for this.
Does it take regular impact gun bits?
No.
Well, that's unfortunate. They should have got with the times.
Well, I bet over the years I've lost all the pieces and parts to it. And I know right now there's a guy watching this on the internet, and he's like, I got one, and I know where it's at. Oh, I'm running off my mouth, and here the rest of them are. See, I was organized once. We should turn on the light in here because it's dark.
What? Those look the same.
Look at that one. Twisted. Twisted. Okay. Phillips. Where's the little ones that break first when you're using them?
Well, I think you've answered your own question.
Yeah, I think we have. Okay, I'm going to show the viewers a cheat. Is it a cheat code? Is that what you guys call it?
Well, let me start another clip. All right, where's your cheat code?
Let me, hold on, stand by, let me get a better screwdriver.
I think I already understand your cheat code.
What's that?
You're gonna take a screwdriver and hit it with a hammer?
Wrong. First, I'm going to try the gentle approach. Take a screwdriver. Ooh. Busted, somebody's here. So off camera, John and I tried. I needed his help. I tried to get those without an impact driver. I'm just not doing it. I said I was going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to put it together. Those are inside. No, I'm concerned. Okay, I'll be honest with you. The thing had 50 pounds oil pressure before. This, I don't think I'm going to be able to get out. And that's where the oil sender unit went.
You might be able to get that out. We didn't try that one.
Because how am I going to know if there's oil pressure unless I hook that gauge up? But the damn gauge leaks inside onto the floor because it's, you know, made of quality that's not acceptable to the real people. All right, let me find an Allen wrench. Put it on hold. Let's find an Allen wrench. So John and I have discussions all the time, on and off camera. He's a very intelligent kid. We were trying this. I had it in the vise with a piece of wood. All we were doing is trying to break it. This thing is in. So I said, we'll never know if it has oil pressure. And John says, well, just leave the oil filter cracked. Start the car. If it sprays all over, then you know it's got oil pressure. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if it loses oil pressure in driving sometime, we'll never know, but whatever. So when I rolled that on...
That's what the second engine's for.
That, I know that's a bad engine. It's got water in it. When I threw that on there, you'll see the O-ring. They'll roll. So what you want to do is take one of these without poking a hole in that. Get it underneath there. And get it like this, and you do a couple of these, and that'll
straighten it out.
Take the twists out of it. Okay. And then this little guy goes here with some RTV still there. I tried cleaning this up. You're not supposed to use RTV, John, on O-rings.
What makes you say that?
The fact that you're not supposed to use RTV on O-rings. So that's a little O-ring. This is a little gasket.
I was about to say that gasket's useless because I thought it was supposed to go between.
Nope. And then those are the inside ones, but what is it? Live and fight another day. Don't die on this hill. What you got is what you got. Don't throw a fit. Any of that stuff comes in handy when you're...
I don't know, but I think you should put some RTV on that because
I'm not gonna.
Okay, because you got this right here.
Oh. So I got that gouge. Well, I can fill that gouge with RTV.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. We can make it if we try. Just a little bit.
Because gaskets are supposed to seal things, but when you did that to it, up there at the top, it doesn't seal as well when they're not smooth.
These are our choices for room temperature vulcanization. I don't really know if that's what RTV is, but that's what the vice grip guy Derek says. So I stole it from a Permatex copper, Mega Black by
Permatex
versus something.
Oh,
I like to get the black oil resistant. That seems important. And then this one, which did not work the other day, the 90-minute gasket maker, Right Stuff. I hear all this stuff about how great this is, and frankly I think this stuff is just as good, but it's half the price. And it wasn't about price. I wanted to pay the price, but $20 for that tube versus $9?
Yeah.
This is still good.
Are you sure you don't want to use this exhaust stuff that's the same color?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You're killing me, Smalls. Ooh, look at that.
Oh wow, you know how to cut a hole.
Stick that in my hand. Oh, I'm going to teach you a lesson, boy.
What kind of lesson?
Everybody needs a lesson.
Just not the same one.
Drill bit. RTV. So you think I should fill in the dents from when I destroyed the front of the engine?
Yeah.
I can't disagree with logic and reason. I can argue it, but I can't disagree with it.
Well, you can try to.
Alright, let's just go ahead and...
fix the problem we created? Or stab a hole in the side of the...
Do you remember in the last video when I was knelt down here and I said destroying the engine wasn't a choice I wanted to make, and then I went right ahead and made that choice?
Yeah,
and $240 later, I still ain't got it running. What is wrong with me? Oh, don't tell me Just Enough Garage Missus. She thinks I make money at this sometimes.
Hey, sometimes you do. This car is worth more running than it is destroyed.
Guarantee that. But sometimes I take on side projects to pay for stuff out in the garage, which was my 3-car deal, which was putting an engine in that other one, which is selling some of the crap that I used to like that I no longer like.
Like?
I like that green Ford. I don't like it anymore. I'm not saying I would sell it, but I would sell it.
I'm not saying I would do this thing that I absolutely would do.
Yeah. Supposed to be a guy coming later today and looking at the Audi. Gonna buy it for his kid. We're so cheap on the price now that I don't know why he wouldn't buy it. I mean, we're getting down there. Turns out people don't really want Audis.
Except for the guy who keeps offering you a mountain bike.
Yeah, get this, okay? I don't think this guy's a subscriber because it's Marketplace. You know, there's been videos on the internet with people complaining about Marketplace, and I hate them too. He's wanting to trade me a mountain bike. that he got for free, that he's never ridden more than twice. It has flat tires. Really? Come on, Huffy. What do you think we're doing here? You know? Alright. I like that, John. Now that it's all unwarbly, we got ourselves a problem. So I guess I'm going to have to do the whole thing, aren't I?
I think it'll be fine.
No, let's just even the playing field here.
Make it all similar?
Yeah, I don't like using RTV because it clogs up all the holes.
Well, if you didn't shove it in the hole to start with.
Look, I'm blind. I'm old.
What? What makes you say all that?
The fact that those are facts. Now, maybe I can use
A paper towel? And wipe it all off.
Ooh.
Man, that dang helicopter.
Yeah, we got somebody going in our neighborhood. It's a Bell. What is that? A Bell whatever? It's like the news helicopters. Makes you wonder if they're looking for somebody.
I don't know, it keeps going in circles around,
Yeah, down by this school, down by the river. In a van.
Eating government cheese.
Down by the river. Some days that sounds so simple.
Government cheese.
You could take this job and shove it, 'cause I ain't working here no more.
And what song is that?
Johnny Paycheck. David Allan Cole wrote it for him in the 70s sometime. It's about a guy who would quit his job because all the reasons he was working were not there no more. Okay. I put bolts where they go.
Where you'd lose them?
No, so then I know which. I found it if you get two holding the gasket and we don't lose the O-ring.
And we don't lose the oil pump.
I can see why the other guy had RTV on it now. Okay, you come right here and look from the top so when the O-ring drops behind, we'll be able to know. Because I think that O-ring's going to drop behind. Well, let me show you a secret to O-ringing.
You put RTV on it.
No, silly. It's actually doing pretty good. You put this thing called grease. Different than RTV.
Different, but similar. It's sticky, but this stuff doesn't dry out.
It's more conducive to the oil passages than RTV.
Well, you're saying this one won't clog oil passages?
And you can actually grease the whole gasket that way if you're worried about it coming off. I mean, not staying on, but the bolts are doing that for me. Okay. I may be dumb, but I know a few things.
You may be dumb, but you don't know what mechanics are.
Oh, you know what my problem is?
Your keyway's not lined up with the other keyway?
My keyway's not lined up with the other keyway. O-ring still there?
Looks like it.
Shoot.
The bolt's not.
I'll get her. This is the most critical part of the job. Everything else up to here has been child's play, John.
Oh, yeah. Hammering into your block with a...
Impact hammer?
Yeah. You telling me that was harder than this?
Oh my gosh, what is going on? Are you not lined up the right way?
Is it the wrong oil pump?
No, it's got a flat on it and it only goes in one way.
Well, let me eyeball this.
No.
Maybe it's the aluminum shaving still in there.
There's no aluminum shavings in there.
What, you telling me those aluminum shavings?
Those are impacts from when I was whaling on it.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I know. As Forrest Gump would say, I'm not a smart man.
But you know how to mess things up.
I mean, maybe they're not interchangeable.
Yeah, but the guy you got this from knows what a Subaru Brat is.
Oh, they're the same engine. They got the ID number. It just doesn't want to slip into its hole.
And that's what the other one had problems with. Except coming out of the hole.
This is a hammer job to put it back in.
I wouldn't recommend it. Otherwise you'll be back to square one drilling it. Drilling and tapping what's left of an oil pump.
Okay. You know how to make this go faster and better?
Heat up the engine block.
Just turn off the camera. Things go right together when nobody's looking, John. Okay.
All right.
So we think we got it, and I said, John, you're going to want to film this as I hit the brand new oil pump with a hammer.
It's not brand new.
Is the O-ring still in there?
I didn't see it hit the ground yet. Well, it sounds like the hammer did its job. Oh, good.
Come on, Butterfingers. Why do I do this to myself?
What, get cars you like and then realize that they're junk?
No, this isn't junk. It's just it's old. It's old. You're just so old.
Well, then buy a new car. Pay payments on it for 30 years.
Oh, I can't do it, John. They make stuff. This is aluminum and steel. The other cars are made out of plastic.
And aluminum.
Yeah.
Aluminium.
Let's just put this together and call our... If this works, you know, then I just used up one of my lives right there. I got 9 lives, and I just used one of them up with stress here. Where's my 10 millimeters?
All over the place.
Right here.
Are you sure that's 10 millimeter?
Looks like it. See? Got a 10 on it.
Oh, good. You know, you can find your 10 millimeters, but you can never find your 17.
I wish you were... I just wish you were a contributor to society, John, because you have such good ideas.
Oh, totally.
If you put down that game controller and went out there and did the hustle, have some boss who's middle-aged, angry at you, you would do just so much better than some middle-aged, angry dad. You could just take on the world.
Yeah, but see, then I wouldn't have the great ideas because I would.
Oh, you'd be beat down? No, I don't know anything about that. You see this move right here? I'm using my finger on the back to hold the socket while I ratchet it, because otherwise it'll untwist.
No, because your hands are big.
Brain is small, hands are big. That's why I'm good for manual labor. And if you hit that, it makes a cute little sound. All right, I think we're gonna be successful. I feel good about this. I think, you know.
You think you can?
I'm thinking now that maybe that oil leak wasn't that bad and we should have left it alone.
That's what I thought the moment we saw it, so.
Yeah.
You know, now that we're on the same page.
Why did you even touch it? But see, I got this thing that's a problem with me, John, and people who know me personally will know this. If I see something, I think, yeah, I could fix that. You know, it's something you get when you're young. Yeah, I can take it on. I can do it. And then the older you get, you realize you can't, but you can't quit saying, oh, I can fix that. I mean, inside of a few days, I found the most valuable, hard to get parts, and I got 2 of them, and I'm ready to go. And I mean, I couldn't fix it 100%, you know, like I'd love to have that oil pressure gauge thing working, but I can't.
You don't want to break another one of those.
I would love to have taken it apart, but I don't want to break another one.
And then have to, you know, get the third one out and then break that one too.
All right, now does it look good? Was there any gaps? The O-ring stayed in place?
I'm sure it'll be okay for a few minutes. Now you gonna let the RTV dry in its gaps, or are you just gonna...
Oh, throw oil to it right away?
Yeah.
Should we wait till tomorrow?
I would say that, but that's up to you.
You know, this thing only has like 1,500 miles on it since I changed the oil.
Ah, so it sounds like time for an oil change and a new
Sounds like it's
filter.
time to put that on there. In case it don't work, I didn't waste another $8.
Alright, so you're gonna tighten that down without knowing if it
all right,
spray.
fine.
Sprays oil everywhere.
There. It will, John, it'll leak. I guarantee you it'll leak now. That's what you want. You wanted a leaky engine. We're gonna get a leaky engine. Ugh, you're killing me, Smalls. You're
just to prove that the oil pump's even doing its job.
John, we're trying to solve oil leaks, not create them.
Well, you only need an oil leak for a couple seconds, and you can tighten that.
I'm just trying to move this so I can do this week's video Mariana, you're just going to have to cut out whatever the stupid part of this video is. I know, she's going to say the whole thing, I know.
She's going to cut out the last part where we're working on the motor of the boat.
Well, that would be fun. I want to go for a boat ride, too. It's just I don't know that I have time today to do it, but people don't know my schedule. I can tell them it was all one day. The magic of editing. And so what you guys don't know is every week, Mary, inside of our own little family chat line, you know, for my kids and my siblings and stuff, sometimes she has a clip of the week. And it's just so bizarre she can't show you, but it's just something that happens. I should probably put that pulley on. You should probably, you know what, put on the brake, put it in gear. I'll hit this with a hammer. They've seen this part before, so we can miss it. Then we'll throw the radiator in this. Oh wait, you wanted to wait till tomorrow, but I want to move the car. We'll just roll it out.
Yeah, it's
throw
got
it down there in the sunshine, and then it will start it tomorrow when the RTV's dry, and we can just drive it up the hill.
Yeah, dump a bunch of oil on the ground.
It shouldn't dump out, do you think?
Well, you loosen the oil filter.
But there's no pressure on it, so it should just...
Well, yeah, that'll be fine until we start it
tomorrow. And then
tomorrow.
I'll put the catch pan under it, and it'll go everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. So, finished up with the Brat. Ta-da! We rolled it outside. Does it run? We don't know. We're waiting the RTV. Probably start it tomorrow. I don't know. We're going to go with John's oil trick because let's not count too many chickens before they're hatched. So we're moving on. It's springtime. I want to get out on the water. This is my source. I got this motor with a whole package deal once with a boat, motor, trailer, electric outboard. I bought oars. I painted the trailer. I used it for a while. We went fishing, caught 0 fish. In fact, up here by the wall of shame carburetors should be the wall of shame fishing poles. They have never caught a fish ever. They're brand new virgin. That's a dune flag. We don't care about that.
That's not a fishing pole.
No. Anyways, so those just hang out there. Someday maybe they'll catch a fish. I don't care.
Especially right there.
But this motor came with it. Now this motor starts and runs really, really good. It's a 4-stroke, as you can see, Suzuki. John pointed out that it was 6 horse. I couldn't remember the size. I think it'll work really good on my Livingston. It has an internal fuel tank, and then it has a provision over here for this other tank if you want a drop tank. I've stored it for years. The last time we used it, if you remember, we drove out into the middle of the lake at like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning to catch the salmon that were spawning with those poles. It's raining. The motor conks out. There's a big fuel spot in the lake. And then we tried fishing. Well, no, then I used the electric outboard to patrol out there. And I said, well, you kids might as well start fishing. So they're trolling, and every boat on the lake just went just like they're like the Disney show with Goofy and everything. And they're all over top of us. And we're like, we don't know nothing. Anyways, they used these little sand crab that we had bought, and they were on the poles. And we couldn't get anything right. Nothing worked. So after a while, about 10 in the morning, we rode back to, probably about 2 miles we rode back to the beach. Found my truck, threw the sand crabs in the woods. We went home. That was the last time this motor ever ran. We were done. I sold the boat a few years later. We got a school down the street from us, and they're letting out. So Rolly, he wants to tell them who's boss. Anyways, let's talk about this motor. I haven't touched it since I put it in the back.
Oh, that's its problem. It's got chrome on it.
Hey, Chrome got you home. It's a beautiful engine. It really is.
It didn't get us home. It got us out to the middle of the lake.
And this is what I think is the problem, John.
Is you touched it last.
There's a fuel... That's not a fuel line. There's a fuel line, and then there's this fuel pump. So I think what happens is inside this has got bad guts, because that's the tank we were running on, and you see that there's a fuel pump either there or there. It picks up fuel, and it comes through here. Now, what it's doing is it is forcing too much fuel, and it is flooding it. So either the float is not working, which is here, or the pump has got like a regulator in it or something that's went bad, because you can see that. So I looked online to try to get one. I couldn't figure it out. I took it to I didn't take it. I went to a couple of boat shops. I don't know what's more frustrating. You paying attention to me, John?
No, I'm paying attention to the engine.
No, you want to just fix it? You don't want to talk about it?
No, I just found a lever underneath here.
What does it do?
I don't know. It's connected to that.
It's part of a vacuum port. What does that say? Probably tells you which fuel line we were on.
I think it's oil level is what it's talking about. Here, let me point the camera
No,
at
it says it's either on the tank or it's on the drop tank.
Oh, I see.
Where's the lever at?
It's right there.
So you got to switch that, which fuel line. You see, so there you go. So there's the line there. It comes to that switch, and it goes back around. It comes over here. Let me get a light. Let me put this down. Okay, I'll tell you a story about my friend. He had a beautiful little boat he'd kind of like halfway restored, and he had a brand new engine on it, and his father-in-law or stepdad or somebody like that said, hey, can I borrow the boat? He said, yeah. The guy went around a corner and he didn't lash the boat down. He just had the front hook on it, and the boat flipped off the trailer, drug the motor upside down the street, and he said, well, I had to get through the intersection, and then he got some people to help him turn it back over. He was so broken up. He says, I don't even want to use it anymore. It's just destroyed. He finally sold it to you later, but he tried to buy that piece to like make it look better. You couldn't even buy those back then. It was a brand new motor. Okay, so here's the Y pipe. So what does that say? In, out. So I think that's a regulator, because I think that this is the, no, that's just a switch. Anyways, I think, okay, so I think the way this works is behind here there's a cam, and there's a little, that's the sound it makes and it comes up. So let's take the bottom of the carburetor off first with that little.
Let's spray the gas that's not in there all over.
You know what we need first? A table. Remember, I gotta have a project, gotta have a table. What does this smell like? It's been in there 5-6 years. You gonna sniff it?
Oh, I sniffed it. It smells like varnish. It's also empty.
Oh, that's good. Did I empty it? Was I smart?
No, I think just all the fuel leaked out over time.
Anyways, it floods out and dies, and you can't restart it. You pull the spark plug, you can clear it, it'll run again. It's getting too much fuel. I know what the problem is. The problem is I didn't fix it yet. Let's get a table. Put it on hold. Let's get back on it.
Do what I want.
This is a choke. Vroom, vroom. That's a turner offer switch. And then you got a forward and reverser. Click, click. And then you just run the tiller. I bet being Suzuki, I bet it's going to be metric. Let's take the bottom of this float off.
I bet because it was sold in America, it's going to be standard.
You think so? Because they know Americans only have standard wrenches.
Uh-huh.
All right. Remember that cardboard I cut up?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get me a piece of that. Get out of the way. Come on.
Well, you could have walked the other way around the table.
I own the shop.
Yeah, so you make it convenient for your employees.
John, you're not a dependent because you're over 18. You're not an employee because I don't have a business. What you are is a son who's got to start either paying rent or being sure that you can take care of me when I'm grumpy and old.
You're already grumpy and old.
Exactly, which means now you got to take care of me. Okay. Now, what I got to do, this is going to be like, see, it starts with an S, Subaru, Suzuki. Now we're just at the point where I'm going to have to start damaging stuff.
Wait, you want to get out your big hammer and start hitting it? That's not a big hammer.
That's stuck on there good. It's like the gasoline turned to oil, which then turned to concrete.
Well, that's what happens when you use corn fuel.
I didn't use corn fuel.
Ethanol. Well, I'm not saying you did, but somebody before you did. Otherwise, this engine would run perfectly.
These are like motorcycles. You run them out of fuel. Speaking of motorcycling, tomorrow I'm going somewhere with that KTM.
With the one in the middle.
Yeah, you're not coming though because it's single track. Unless you ride motorcycle.
I don't ride motorcycle. I can barely do the quad without falling over.
All right.
Slimy.
That's not too bad. I've seen worse.
See, I told you. They used ethanol.
Yeah. So, let me, oh man, I wish I was younger again. Let me find my light. So does the needle work? Because I think it's not turning the needle off when it's at idle, but it'll flood even at full RPM.
The needle's up right now. When I pushed it, it went up.
Does it drop down? Can you see it in there? Should be right here.
I can see it when your head's not in the way.
Oh, so wait, either we're gonna film, we're gonna hold the light, or you're gonna look.
If I zoom in, they can see it too.
People on the internet don't care about outboards.
Well, if it'd focus. Anyways, it's somewhere in there.
All right, get out of the way so I can work. Okay, so it's getting late. It's after 7. We've had a busy day. We've done a zillion things. This is set for 24 hours now for the RTV putting the oil pump on. John gone goofing off with his friend. I can't believe youngsters. So Mary's out here with me. This is loose. I purposely loosened this.
Yeah, it's hard to see
for oil pressure. Now I'm going to go crank the engine. If you get oil leaking out of there, make sure it don't start. If it leaks out, Mary, you let me know, and I'll stop cranking. I don't want it to start in case we don't have any oil.
Yeah. All right, let's zoom in, see if the people will be able to see it too.
You ready?
Yep. There we go.
All right, so it's working.
Yes.
Okay, let me tighten that up. That's a win. That's a big win. Because
So
I don't have an oil pressure gauge because I couldn't get the block plug.
This is your oil pressure gauge. Gauge it with your eyes.
Well,
Can you see it?
What are you filming? My armpit?
No.
'Cause-
It's filming your hand wiggling.
John came up with this idea because I couldn't get this to go back in because the plug in there was bad and I didn't want to wreck another oil pump. Anyways, let's it should run, and if it does, and then make sure there's no leaks.
You wanted it to leak now. You don't want it to leak.
I know, I'm particular.
Can't decide. No leaks to mine eye.
Okay. I think we're going to call that a win for now because you saw oil coming out. We know the pump is putting out some.
And then we didn't see oil coming out.
Oil pressure comes from the clearance between the connecting rods, the rod bearings on the crank. I know that is good. I know it had 50 pounds. Now, what I don't know is how good that oil pump is. It looked all right. He said he had that one. It was a good one. We saw that it was pumping some oil. I need to get that figured out so I have a gauge. And I have to, The cable, the copper's all right, but the gauge inside drips on the floor. It's cheap. Everything's cheap. The parts don't fit. Car's back in action. Who cares? Let's move on. Follow up. Come on, Mary.
What you have here?
I'm gonna close the door. Oh, it's so dark because I haven't fixed those lights.
Yeah, but standing on this side, we can see your face fine.
So John and I worked on the motor. We're catching up on the motor. I got some gas. We've cleaned the carburetor. The tank is good. I'll probably need to go cut a barrel down, which is a whole nother antic, to put some. Anyways,
Chainsaw it again.
Yeah, let's see if it starts. I had a funnel, and here it is. Oh, look at all my funnels found their way. See, people,
Yeah, I know. I stacked them in the back of your...
See, people think, Darian, you lose stuff. You don't know what you're doing. That's all true, but today I have my funnels.
It's because I gathered them up for you.
Is that one going to be a good one?
I don't know.
Look at this blue one.
Blue, 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 blue.
That's more better.
More gooder.
Yeah. Let me just throw these somewhere.
Well, maybe don't.
I know.
Did you know that this was here?
Yeah, of course I did.
There's a giant one? I didn't.
C clamp?
Yeah.
Is it a G, a C, a D clamp?
Well, it looks more like a G when you have it tightened just a...
Now, I don't want to put too much in here, Mary, because I don't want it setting in there, because
well,
ideally...
At least we can see how much.
Oh, yeah, that's working good.
You gotta let it breathe. I think that's plenty, Darian.
Okay, good.
Right here.
Oh, yeah. Ideally, I want to take the little boat out. Now that the Brat is running, we can put the little boat in the Brat, take the little motor, go for somewhere. That was my goal.
The little boat with the little Brat with the little engine. I mean, it's not little, but it's...
Thinks it could.
Yeah.
But I didn't find the problem with why this thing's doing it, so I think we have to let this set. It's supposed to rain to beat the band, beat the Dickens, beat hell. I don't know.
It's to beat hell.
So we'll start this. I checked the oil already.
Yeah. The rain's only just starting, really.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain so it'll be next weekend. Oh yeah, and then there's a choke. It should just start right up. Wow, I don't know. Let's clamp that down. It's a neutral, so it should go all right. And then there's a throttle here, which that's in the choke position. It likes choke. That's sat since, when was the last time we used it? We were in the rain and we were fishing and we couldn't catch nothing. And
I was 12 when we did that, so it's almost been 10 years.
This has sat in this shop for 10 years.
I think so.
And it started first pull?
Yeah.
With me screwing with it. Now, I don't have fuel up to it yet, so that...
He hadn't tried to start it yet. He's been fiddling before
No,
he
I
did.
hadn't. That was the first... That's honest. That's a will it start outboard motor. It always ran good. It just flooded itself out. There's no fuel up to it. This was the fuel.
To be fair, the last way we had... Well, no, not on that boat. We had it on a canoe, guys. Years before
Not
that.
this one.
No, this one was a different one?
No, this is a different one. This one used to ride on the back of the Supra with the homemade mount. But that last time we used it was when we wanted to go fishing with that little boat. We don't want to.
Yeah, 3 in the morning.
Okay, it's going to get fuel up here any second. If the fuel pump's working. Get your foot away from there.
I was holding it down. You don't like it?
Oh, I remember. This is the part where you crank and crank and crank and crank and crank with your hand, and then all the other fishermen come along because they think you know what you're doing because you have your pole in the water at the same time you're cranking.
And that's the problem. You get your line wrapped up in that.
It starts but don't run. I think it's that fuel pump, but I took it apart. It looked all right. Oh, and then John monkeyed with this switch. We gotta use our glasses. Tank or in tank. That's external, that's internal. Yeah, it's going the right way. Anyways, it's a 4-stroke motor. There's the oil. It has a crankcase. It's not 2-stroke, it's 4. Well, get fuel up to it.
Just dumping it in there.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Got to switch off arms to keep your muscles big and evenly strong.
This thing makes a blister right there.
Oh, I got a blister on my thumb right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a blister on your finger. Maybe you'll get a blister on your thumb. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. I want my MTV.
Just can't help but killing it.
Why is it not? Let's take that off. That's my fuel inlet.
Oh, then you're gonna suck on it to prime it?
No, I'm gonna see if there's fuel there. No, it's this one.
Oh, that one?
No, it's this one. You're right.
Yeah.
That's
I literally just watched you do it.
Yeah.
There we go. Here, you hold the camera if you're going to stand there.
I'm a horrible cameraman. All shaky and bouncy. Take pictures of your ear. It's terrible.
That's a good ear, isn't it? It's been working my whole life. You know what would be really nice right now? That tool I broke when we did the Brat brakes.
Okay. This is where you use something like this. Oh, let me move the light out of the way.
You know, this is fun. He's got the phone, the light, and the
And
pliers.
you give that a little wiggle jiggle. Wiggle jiggle.
Okay, give me the camera back. Since you're swapped. I don't know, man. I did pretty okay on my own.
We had some fuel. There's some fuel. Hold that out to the side and let it squirt. I'm gonna pull
Not on me, though. I prefer not to be flammable.
Yeah, let it squirt out on the floor so we can see. All right. She got lots of fuel.
Does it have too much fuel?
Oh, I don't think so. I think the needle's not letting it through because it will run when it has fuel, but it won't run when it doesn't. I mean, it's a high-speed jet, something like that.
You gotta get the tail end up there.
Yeah, I hate these.
There you go.
See, that thing's full of fuel right there. Look.
I can tell by
it's doing the same. It's doing the same thing. You see, it's flooded itself. But what? Well, why?
So I said dumping it in.
But why?
I hates you.
I didn't. You know, I know I didn't fix it, but why did I not? Okay.
He's trying to.
Just put that on the ground.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Ah! Blinding us, guys.
Shine on, you crazy light.
No, we did that one last week.
I only have so many bits.
Well, you did a different one earlier. So, you know. New material. Drip, 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 drip.
This is why the lake always looked like it was full of gasolina.
Not on purpose, okay? We weren't going around flooding the lake with gas on purpose.
John says he saw the needle move. I'm thinking I need to raise that up so that it shuts it off
Your
quicker.
float, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
This is just like a little tiny toilet float.
You know, if you're not doing it twice, you're not doing it right, and I am definitely done it. See, now the needle didn't even fall out, which means it's working because we're getting fuel in there. Don't mess with it.
I know. I'm just trying to.
See, this is what I want to
tiny
raise, is that
high.
little... I want to raise that little platform so it'll shut off quicker. And it's not designed to be maneuvered. Usually those are adjustable.
You adjust your float.
Is the needle still in there? Yes. Alright. Come on, you. Hold still. Oh, easy. Easy. Go when you're home. Do you think I can even fix this, Mary? Or is this just one of those that you just sell for $100 and say needs work, runs good when it runs good? I've adjusted that. Now, I'm going to pull this and fuel should come running out of there. Let's see what happens. If this don't work, then I don't know what the hell's the problem. Sounds like Rory wants it. Okay, now, you hold that up, and fuel should not run out of there. We'll give it some fuel, make sure it runs. Okay, Where's all that fuel coming from?
I don't know, homie.
That's my problem, whatever that is. Okay. I might just cut the video. It's long enough, and I got to take the whole carburetor apart, dissect it, look at it, because you had to float up.
Yep. You know where this might end up, Darian?
In the garbage?
On the carburetor wall of shame.
I know.
It'll be a baby carburetor compared to the rest of them.
It's not a big deal. Take this all off. It's just something I got to do. And I don't want to show it on film. I don't want to deal with it. This is boring enough. Anyways, let's finish this out. So what did we fix? Well, nothing on the outboard. Just forget it. Don't even pretend you saw it. Just forget it. Just out of your mind. Subaru, fix that. Now, we don't know if it's leaking yet or not. But we'll drive it a little tomorrow and park it and put a piece of cardboard under it and see. Anyways, next week, I can't tell you what I'm doing because it's a surprise. Anyways, we'll get through the rainy weather here and we'll get on to some fun summertime activities. Thanks for watching. Good luck, Mary, editing this one, and we'll see you next week.
I jinxed it. I tried filming it running, and I jinxed it.
I need to put it in the barrel now because it's not leaking fuel now. So let's. Okay, so we're not done. We messed around. Let's go get the barrel. Put some. Stand by. I'll get a barrel.
Are you gonna cut it with your chainsaw or your new grinder?
Should I just cut a square out of it and hang the motor right in it?
I think the barrel's too tall.
Yeah, but you see, I'll just hang it on the edge.
Oh, I see.
Then it won't splash everywhere. I don't know, Mary. I don't want to go on the house. Yeah. Okay, let me find a saw. Oh, I got a skill saw. I can deal with that.
Oh, a skill saw. Didn't even
Gotta
consider.
have some skill to saw it.
Well, it's definitely a workout. It'll shake you all over the place.
She's old Mr. DeWalt. My only DeWalt tool. My beautiful Just Enough Garage bride bought this for me a few years ago.
Oh, it's got to have been longer than that.
Anyways, my daughter at the time was working on a construction project, and I took this right out there and built a set of stairs for her. And it was a fix-it, trade-off rent deal situation. Well, about the time we got the project done, the fella decided that he needed it for his son-in-law or something, and we didn't continue, and then that guy never showed up, and it's just one of those things in life that didn't work out.
You know, I always forget that cutting wood's a lot more fun.
So you're gonna grab onto that, or we're gonna fish it out.
We might go.
Bueno. You know what? I've been doing this all wrong. Grinders and chainsaws.
That's all you needed.
I just needed to have a little skill with a saw.
Well, next time we can try it with a jigsaw and really make your life miserable.
I got so excited. Look what I did here.
You left the gas can open?
The price of fuel, who could afford that?
To let it evaporate away.
Yeah, let me put this down. This come off my Jeep, but I use it for gas all the time.
This is true. It's the most used.
Okay, so now that water stays in there.
And we get the garden hose.
We might need to put a piece of wood right here. Shine in here, Mary.
Am I going to drop my phone in there?
I hope not. See all this plastic that I cut? I'm such a hero now that I got to reach in here and get this.
Gotta go fishing.
Go fish.
Yeehaw. Well, it's better than bobbing for...
Because I don't want that plastic going into the thing. I don't even know if this one draws water through it. Some don't. I don't even know. I don't know. There should be a hose on the outlet somewhere. I don't even see it. So we're putting it in water and we don't even need to because the motor up here is air cooled. I don't know. Anyways, if there is a foot, I don't want the damn plastic going in there.
Can't say that one. I have to bleep it.
I don't want the plastic going in there. Let's see what happens. Turn the water off.
Okay.
So the hose gets around the propeller. Alright. Well, let's see what happens here. 3, 2, 1, let's try. It was running good a few seconds ago.
Oh, you got gas dripping in already.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think it's air cooled.
So is it a bad carburetor? Why is it overflowing?
I don't know. I don't know either.
eBay, $60. Maybe we'll try that. Because you want to see something cool? Go stand over there, or you get wet. I don't think it'll start again now. Yeah,
I'll stand
flooded.
behind you.
It's flooded. Out on it.
It's staying idle. No, it's not. I think this is the best choice we've made so far.
Oh, it's brilliant.
That it doesn't come up and splash us.
Well, the price of water nowadays, you can't afford to lose any of it. So now it's working perfect.
Just had to get its kinks out, I guess. Let it sit at an idle for a while. Let's see if it'll start flooding again.
Yeah, it's too low of an idle. It's too low. See, it'll restart.
Ah! Now we'll get splashed reverser in there.
There's a lock on that.
Maybe lock it in.
Oh yeah.
It's as dangerous as a lathe. The way you're doing business around these parts.
I like.
Is it locked in?
I don't know. I like forward. It's a good gear. Let's put a load on it. Well, today it's working.
Well, now it's working. It wasn't working earlier today.
So now did we fix it, or is it just?
We'll have to come back tomorrow when it's all cooled down and it's sat for a while.
Not hot enough.
Well, the lid isn't on it either, so it can stay. Boat, Dad.
No way, really?
Yeah, you got a hole in your boat. It was just guzzling out a minute ago. A lot quieter. That's amazing what that hunk of plastic do.
That's wide open.
6 miles an hour, people. 6 miles an
feel good. Looking to see how it revs up.
Airflow?
See how it revs up. Maybe I can drill a hole in this.
It don't got enough airflow?
Well, it draws it in from the bottom. There's holes. This could be alright.
Should be and are different.
I don't know what to tell you. It's looking good now.
Off across the yard. It's not dumping.
Hey, if you turn it all the way off, that's supposed to kill it. But there's a button on the side too.
The red button?
Yeah.
That you would assume is the kill switch?
So it's idling. It's working perfect now.
Just had to swear at it. It was a pretty wimpy pull. Give it a good one.
Alright, I'll rev it up. You ain't going nowhere tonight.
Except in the house to watch TV. I think it hates you.
That's the end of that. We're out in the lake now. Yeah, rev it up. Let's do it. One thing about boats you got to remember, you cannot love them. You've got to teach them who's the boss. Oh, that's like a motorcycle.
You didn't do enough motorcycling today?
Yeah, I started out with 2-stroke dirt bikes this morning and I ended up with this
4-stroke.
this piece of Suzuki.
Hooey.
Now, if this was made by KTM, boom, we had a great day. I gave it a speech. I don't want no
The KTM or this?
I gave the KTM a speech this morning. Don't want any pushing, shoving, tripping, falling, running, knocking. We're just, you be good to me, I'll be good to you. Let's just go have fun. We both
Similar speech to when you left us kids in the car to run in for something.
I
Don't
no problems.
don't no screaming, no yelling, no hitting, no biting. Oh, and the last one on the list was don't get kidnapped.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, Mary. The video has gone all over the map. We've had one success. We've had 2 success.
What did you say with the Jeep tires? 3 out of 4?
Yeah.
How'd that turn out?
One is doing, look at it, it's doing great.
Yeah, the front passenger side. Killing it.
Well, I don't know, I'm going to put it away for the night.
All right, say goodbye to the people again.
This is the real one. We'll see you later. It's supposed to rain the next few days. We're going to get the boat, put it in the Brat. We're going to go for a drive. I got skid plates to put on. I got tops to put on.
Next week, hopefully. Next week.
We're going to see some of the Northwest. We're going to take you out to Puget Sound.